Is Hard Facts 92.3 Nigeria Info. Our first big story is about a clash of titans. There was a heated exchange between Senator representing Ebonyi North, Nwaebonyi, and former Minister of Education, Ezekwesili, during a Senate hearing on Tuesday. The clash occurred at the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petitions hearing on a fresh petition submitted by Natasha Akpabio. Mrs. Ezekwesili was present at the hearing alongside Abiola Akiyode Afolabi, counsel to Senator Akpabio, and the chief petitioner from Kogi Central, Zubairu Yakubu. Trouble started when the petitioner urged the chairman of the committee, Neda Imasue, to step down in the case following what they described as controversial manner in which he had so far handled the alleged sexual harassment allegation against the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. So, we need to be immersed into that after we hear what happened.
Mr. Chairman, we do that. I don't want to something herself. It's okay, madam. It's okay, madam. It's okay, madam. Auntie, you have to respect yourself. Shut up and take him out. Smell him out. Smell him out. Look like a dog. Look at you. Big fool. Fool at 70.
I take exception to a senator.
Why are you talking to me like that?
You are a disgrace to the Senate.
You are an insult to womanhood.
You are
an insult to womanhood. And you are here to tell the world that you have not changed.
You cannot
You are
violate
here to tell the world that you have not changed. At 70, you have not changed.
You are a scoundrel.
I'm expecting to take it. I will not take it.
You are a scoundrel.
I will not take it.
To insult.
That is why you can never be here. People like you can never be here. People like you can never be here.
Not a hooligan.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Chairman,
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Chairman.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Chairman.
The committee. Chairman of the committee. Hello, Chairman of the committee. My distinguished colleagues and the petitioner and those who came to defend the petition.
Okay. So that's what happened. They turned chairman to carpenter. If you did not know what was happening, you would think they were constructing a kitchen cabinet. You know the part of all of this that pissed me off the most? Every part of it should trigger. But the part that pissed me off the most was the person who eventually got the opportunity to speak and started with distinguish what? Let's go back there. It's towards the very end. You still have the audacity to address them as distinguished.
Chairman of the committee. Hello. Chairman of the committee. Hello. Chairman of the committee. My distinguished colleagues and the petitioner and those who came to.
It's okay. Your distinguished colleagues. Even with evidence that they are not distinguished, you still get ahead of anything like this. So we will start with their titles. How to want to look up distinguished and honest that is either distinguished. They were only dignified in appearance. They wore good clothes. The senator had a white kaftan, I think. Senator. That's what we call it because that's what senators wear. And a red cap. And in regular fashion, Ezekwesili was in what call that thing? The traditional Ankara stuff. So they just look dignified in appearance. But in manner, to remind you of the image of our assembly. Particularly the Senate is being bruised and battered. From allegations of sexual harassment against the number one senator in the country, the Senate President, to allegations of bribery to endorse the emergency rule, which they said is for Salah. Now to this. And the painful part of all of this is, whether or not you like it, this is representative of Nigerian citizen. Because these people are the people elected to represent us. almost every time a serious issue is deliberated, arguments shift focus. Do you remember when the IG went to this same Senate to talk about police welfare? They started shouting, we cannot have it. Why will this happen? Why would that one happen? The issue that brought the man is pertinent. It's important. And after the shouting and the we no go agree, it was adjourned. Do you remember, I think, before the second sexual right, while still dealing with seats placement or arrangement, one of the things Natasha said was that her bills were always put down. What was one of those bills? Investigation into the corruption of Ajaokuta Steel. And it was this rowdiness, this argument, no, we couldn't do this. Everybody forgot it. And it was adjourned. Now they are deliberating on allegations that the Senate president of our country sexually harassed a female senator. And while we're deliberating what is already a problem, it's like we have a family meeting to settle a family problem. Then in that meeting, you're not here, you are a fool, you are a disgrace to womanhood, you are scoundrel. What? You are a fool at 70. We are trying to solve an existing problem. And guess what happened? It was adjourned. That's exactly what happened. If you were walking past that place, it would be difficult to convince you that it's not a marketplace. Well, you will know it's not a marketplace because the insult was in English. Scoundrel, hooligan. Market people, they don't play like that. And while you might want to analyze this and say, oh no, Nwaebonyi was at fault. No. Obi Ezekwesili, what you just thing. It showed who they are and how they respond to those kinds of provocations. Because there are people who will be in that same position and might have been called a name or two. And on the other side, that is also how she behaves. Because they both granted interviews. And they have both said, these are the things. Why would she say this to me? Why would he do that? I promise you, where you hear these kinds of arguments is in primary and secondary school. After school, where two people are like, you are a fool, see your eyes, see your head, see your... But now, our lawmakers and distinguished honorables engage in these kinds of battles. Welcome to my country, Nigeria. We are a work in progress. We get to see. We get to the point where we actually do see the progress. Well, we're going from that. Who are these amazing people? They are core members. Backlogs. They have called on the federal government to go beyond making promises to creating jobs and enabling environment. Promises to creating jobs and enabling environment for business.
The time I went by, as I serve Nigeria, you give me 33K, we are not feel afford anything. No, it's really bad. So they should work anything. No, it's really bad. So they should work on that 77.
I've been saying they're going to pay 77K for how long now? They've never paid 77,000. So I don't think they're still going to pay.
I don't take any promise from the serious again. Those who, who have been in the with the situation.
And create some opportunities for people to get jobs afterwards and everything. So and create some opportunities for people to get jobs afterwards and everything. So that is it. If you going to see men like this, there's no point of guys serving and still coming out jobless.
Some of the graduates, they're just waiting so sure that the person don't care before they go for service.
Magic will not believe the promise of getting the backlog. I feel like they are just, if you can just start paying, don't worry about the backlog. We are forgiving you, federal government. Just start. Well, this is where we are. The numbers to call are 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. Please remember to turn off your radio as you call. It is very important. Otisalat on WhatsApp says, Sam, separate the fight. No, I can't. I don't have the arsenal, right? The vocabulary of those. Hooligan. If I get in there, I wouldn't know what word to use. So I understand on the series. Thank you, Otisalat. Gode Teme says Rivers Labour to embark on protest is a move in the right direction. Enough is enough. This country belongs to all of us. The impunity must stop. That's from Gode Teme. And Michael Oyibo Agbaye says, Sam, it's exactly that use of the title on people acting like children that offended me most in the drama. Sad indeed. Senators acting like people in family meeting. What's that? What are you trying to say, Michael? A family meeting is always like this? You've not met my family. Clinton. Good afternoon, Clinton.
Yes, Sorko. So I actually enjoyed the way you x-rayed how both parties behaved. It's rather very unfortunate that people of such reputation would display this kind of attitude in public. Yes, there were provocations, but does that warrant this kind of utterances coming from the mouth of our dignitaries, our respected officials? Take a look at your own environment. Need to stop. Also, a very wrong way of engaging people. But reacting that way does not depict of the title honorable, distinguished. It's rather very unfortunate. I think both parties must apologize to Nigerians because we are going global, and the people that say that that's how our people behave. Then on the issue of a club member doubting if federal government can pay their allowances, their backlogs, I wouldn't blame them because I remember when we are serving.
You see, when you've been abused when you've been abused for so long, you don't even know what your entitlement is. I promise you, if you get on the streets of this country, or even if I ask now, think about it. Good afternoon.
Mr. Sam, my reaction on that update and the senator, I think the concern expressed by the petitioner is in order, because if you look at the man do this matter, you understand that they are not taking it serious. The last time I heard them passing vote of confidence on the Senate president, even when you know that you have this kind of matter. So for me, I think there's no need for overflogging the issue, because the Senate has taken their stand, no matter what they do, except the woman, Natasha Kotti, goes to court. Honestly, that is the only way, because how will you tell me that you have given vote of confidence to a Senate president? Yes, you are standing and they're presiding a committee on to me on issue of the coppers. What are them? They should deal with it. You understand? Some of the coppers were alleged to have been involved in election rigging. In terrible hope brief for them on anything. Because if you see the antecedents of these coppers, you understand what I'm talking about? They were happy they got $200, $300 to help politicians.
Chima, you cannot use the actions of a few enough for the federal government to refuse to give them their allowance, which the federal government promised, simply because in the last election, some coppers collected 200. So reason, let everybody.
I tell you, let them deal with it.
Okay, thank you, Chima. Emeka calls from Elele. Hello, Emeka. Good afternoon.
Yes, dear brother. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I don't know why. Akpabio have to step aside first. He has brought a national disgrace to Nigeria. Every time sexual harassment. It's not only this Natasha. People have pointing fingers at him. A whole senator, a senate president in that matter. It's something getting out of hand. We should find ways out and do everything. Even the man is giving us embarrassment. So they came to mortgage the state of the workers. Look at local government since a February protest. That is their right. Thank you and God bless you.
Hold on, Emeka. I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
You said Akpabio is number 4. Who is number 3?
Yes, president is number 1, number 2. The vice president is number 2. Vice president is number 2 in the country.
Yes. Who is 3?
The 3 is the senate president. The deputy.
Not only did you say he's a wife beater, you say you pity the way he does it. He has done it so much that you don't even like how he does it. Maybe if he did it in a civil manner. I apologize for that. Please disregard those comments. I've said it countless times. It is important that you... Good afternoon, Sam. Nigeria is mercy. I thought I thought they're meant to be federal government irrespective. Okay. Asetico story. Someone is sitting on those core members' money. If investigated well, it's one with you people.
The usual drama in Nigeria.
Okay.
The usual everyday. I mean, someone says, okay, I don't know if but just leave it at the usual drama in Nigeria.
Okay. So give me a minute. Let me turn off the mic and hear what someone said.
Salary. You see how they're behaving? Well, take salary. You see how they're behaving? Because that one is touching them. But the one Nigerians are suffering because.
So Mike,
through process through the assembly, they're not aware. So what are we talking about?
Okay.
The assembly took them maybe 3 to 4 days and see. They should ask for the. Say, I'm not happy about the comment. I'm not happy about it at all.
Okay.
The suspension of Governor Fubara. The last time I checked, the Labour are not supposed to be partisan, but the way I'm looking at them now, they are taking sides. This is political crisis. And in political crisis, Labour is supposed to be neutral. I don't know whether this action will make any of God. I don't know whether this action will make any of God to court to challenge this suspension. And one of them have a big concern about this suspension. And one of them have a big concern about
Franco, you say Labour has. Okay, forget it. Ask my correspondent scheme. Are you with Labour? Are they on your side? Have you spoken to them? Are they on your side? Have you spoken to them? Did you sponsor them? Did you sponsor, influence the move? I'd like to. All right, we already are taking comments on the if the emergency ruling rate is not reversed within the time union assessment jointly signed by the state chairperson of NLC, Alex Agonwo, Stoti Iku Onyefuru, and chairperson of the Joint Negotiation Council, Chukwu Emecheta. They said the state of emergency has impacted the local government workers who are yet to receive their salaries and exposed to avoidable economic hardship. Organized labor described the declaration of a state of emergency, and suspension of elected governor, deputy governor, and House of Assembly members as premature and baseless. I'll be speaking to Okwando in a matter of moments, but let me run through a few comments. Mr. Sam, I don't expect anything decent response from the Senate because they do not represent you and I. Look at the critical issues on board. Instead, disruption and anarchy, so the burning issues will be swept under the carpet, Panuel says. And still on WhatsApp, regarding the 77,000 naira payment to all members, it's something I seriously believe the government will pay, but I cannot tell when. However, this year, creating jobs for themselves, although employment immediately after their service, while others might take a little longer, but they should not give up. After my service year, I got engaged in bread distribution and to keep themselves productive. They should engage in what they like doing to make money for themselves while waiting for their dream jobs. God will help us. Okay, I like the council, but it almost seems like they should get productive and make money and forget the 77K. That's kind of how it sounds. Okwando, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. What Senator Nwaebonyi exhibited is just a clear example of the character of majority of the people who say that they are our linguists. There has never been an iota of to show that this allegation, one a harassment allegation to the other. The Bible says that this character should not be heard of you. I think that is the same thing with the type of the people who are there are some characters that should not be mentioned who are leaders.
All right. Thank you very much, Okwando. Bless you too. Charles from Rumubiakani. Hello, Charles. Good.
Yeah, good afternoon, JB.
Afternoon.
I tell the security of the nation. What would the president have done in this matter? Keep the governor, keep the legislature, and allow the situation to degenerate before people fight, kill themselves before he declares state of emergency. I want some air and
okay, so I'm going to pretend I don't have the answer to your question. Oh my. I was going to ask Charles a question of mine. We're very close to a break.